Hey peeps, welcome to another video. Today it is my June, July, August and September lookbook. So I had planned after my last multi-month lookbook to be doing these much more regularly, but I'm still playing catch up. So I hadn't sewn what I thought was enough things to show you a monthly one, and time just got away from me, and here we are 4 months later. So I do have a fair amount of things to show you. There is a nice giant pile of clothes over there. I have 3 bags next to me, and of course the shirt that I'm wearing here. We'll start with this one. This is the New Look 6560 shirt. The pattern and the fabric were voted for by my Patreon peeps. I'm really glad that they picked this one because I absolutely love it. There is a sew along for this shirt. If you wanted to follow along with how I made this particular version, this is the bishop sleeved ruffly front version, and I have made this shirt into a proper wrap shirt with attached ties rather than a detachable belt, but that's just my preference. So I show you how to do all of those things in the sew along. Yeah, I really like this shirt. I will definitely make more. It is quite snug around the armhole, but not uncomfortably so, just that I am aware that it's there, but I can do that no problem whatsoever. So yeah, I really like this. This fabric was a remnant that I picked up from the textile centre at the Knitting and Stitching show. It was one of the ones that they had. They had like bolts of fabric, and then they had rails of fabric on hangers, and it told you how much there was. I think there was 2.3 meters, and I've definitely got a good sort of 75 centimeters of this left, so I'm hoping I might be able to squeeze out a cami or something like that, which would be quite interesting because obviously this is a very sheer fabric. I love it, and it's just really pretty. So I have styled it 2 ways. The first way that you can see here was when I was out on holiday. I was wearing it with my wraparound tie fisherman style trousers that I made out of white rayon. The New Look pattern that I used for those is out of print, but there is another pattern that is basically the same, and I will have linked that in the description bar down below for you. Now that was definitely how I would wear this on holiday. Having come back, I mean, given that it's also now autumn, I wouldn't wear it like that in this country, but I would wear it like this. So I have styled it up today for you as well to show you it with jeans and high heels, which is definitely the sort of thing that I would wear this with. I kind of fancy making myself some 70s style flares to go with this as well, because I think some flares would look really cool with this top, and McCall's have just released a pattern for that, which you will be seeing in an upcoming video. I really like this shirt, and I can definitely see myself getting lots and lots of wear out of it, and it's a fairly quick make, and I have giant bags, as you know, of fabric down in the main house that are all set aside to be tops, so I can see myself making some of the other versions of this shirt as well. So thank you to the Patreon peeps for voting for this one. It's definitely a winner. So I'm going to show you some bags whilst I'm still wearing this, because I have poured myself into these skin tight jeans, so I'm going to keep them on as long as I possibly can. So the first bag I have to show you is the Swoon Patterns Celine tote bag, and I did a sew along for this one, which again you can find at the top of the screen. So I really like how this bag has turned out. I used the remnants of the bronze leather that I used for the sleeves of my Kelly Anorak. I've got this matte print fabric that I actually bought because I had it in cotton, and I made a Belladon dress from Deer and Doe, and I messed up the bodice, so I wanted to redo the bodice, and when this came it was actually canvas, not cotton, so I was like, oh, what am I going to do with that? And it's perfect for bag making, and I really like how it looks. And then on the inside we've got the Pocket A supplement from Chris W Designs, and then I added in a zippered pocket as well because it's just my preferred method of turning a bag through, and also I like to have as many pockets as possible. I remember to put my label in this one, so that's cool. And yeah, I mean, I love this bag. I love the Celine bag. It is the bag that I carry on a daily basis. The green leather and savannah cotton twill ones is the one that I use most often, but I do find myself reaching for this one on occasion, which is cool. And I have made some tweaks and stuff to it as well, so I've added foam, I added a base, I added feet, and as I say, the interior pockets. So I really enjoy this bag, and I really enjoyed making the sew along, and this was the one that I taught at the retreat in May. I have seen a few people's finished and they look amazing, so can't wait to say everyone's finished, hint hint peeps. I'm also teaching the class for this at Like So Amazing the second week in November, so if you would like to book onto that course, I will put the link in the description bar down below. The second bag I've made is the Swoon Annette commuter tote, and I love this bag and I use this bag a lot a lot. I do have this fabric for sale. It will be going up in my shop very soon. I plan on making myself the By Hand London Rumana coat out of this because I think it's going to look amazing, but it's also really good for bag making. So I did a sew along for this bag as well, and I also taught this bag at Beautiful Things HQ back in July. So I did the sew along for this one. Again, it has the Chris W Designs Pocket A supplement in there, and I forgot to put my label in this one, so I'm going to have to either sort of machine or hand stitch that in at a later date. But this bag is absolutely amazing, and this is the one that I generally use to travel up to London with because I can fit absolutely everything in there, including my laptop sleeve. So it means I don't have to carry my laptop and handbag and pull a suitcase. So I really like this bag. It is absolutely gorgeous, and if you would like to make your own, there is a sew along for that one as well. And then the final bag I have to show you is an actual monster. This thing is ginormous, and see what I mean? It's huge. So this is the full moon of the Lunar collection by Chris W Designs. Again, I have the Chris W Designs Pocket A supplement in here. I believe this pocket supplement was designed to go with the Lunar bag, and I absolutely love it. I think this bag is immense. So it has a magnetically closed slip pocket at the front. On this giant version, on the back, it has a luggage sleeve, but you can, if you don't need that, you can always sew that shut for another slip pocket. It has giant pockets on the side that are closed with drawstrings. The construction of this was really interesting, and Chris has actually asked me to do a sew along for one of her bag patterns that she's not going to be doing a video tutorial for, and I picked this one. So I wanted to make it first off to see how it went together and if there would be anything that I would tweak, and there is absolutely nothing that I would tweak because the way she puts it together and the instructions are incredibly well written, so you really don't need a sew along, you can just do the instructions. But I am so going to be doing a sew along for this. And I also made it because I wanted a carry-on bag, and this is actually the dimensions for carry-on luggage for my holiday to Croatia. So I decided that I was going to do this 2 days before we left, and I managed it, even with a kind of like break for beauty appointment in the afternoon of one of the days. There was a couple of late nights of sewing, but I think I finished at 9 o'clock every night, so not too late. Now, this is an expensive bag to make. The hardware and interfacing alone comes to around about £95 for UK prices. I'm sure the guys in the States and Canada can get it a little bit cheaper, but for us over here in the UK, it is around about £95 for the hardware and interfacing for the full moon bag. It comes in 3 sizes, so there is the quarter moon, the half moon and the full moon. I kind of plan on making, I think, the quarter moon next for the sew along because I like the idea of having a set. I think that would be really cool. I also want to make a makeup roll in this combination of fabric and a toiletries bag, and also a passport holder, and then maybe a handbag. I already do have a Celine handbag in this combination of fabrics, but I gave it to Small Girl Type Creature when I made my green leather one. So I might have to maybe steal that back from her. Maybe I'll swap it with the brownie leather one. You never know, she might like that. I love this bag. I absolutely love this bag. Now, it does get heavy when it's full. It was around about 10 kilos with stuffed, completely stuffed full of my overnight stuff and my toiletries, because when I came home from Croatia, I went straight to Wilson's house, and rather than take my giant suitcase with everything in it, I kind of decanted a weekend's worth of stuff into here. And it was the toiletries and bits and pieces that were the heaviest, but it did get heavy. It was doable, it was carryable by itself, but it was heavy. So I think this is one of these bags that if you don't have to carry it for long durations, say just from your house to the boot of the car to wherever you're going, and you know, vice versa, this is an amazing weekend overnight bag. If you have to carry it on the London Underground for fairly long periods of time, it might not be the most practical bag. I mean, I managed it. I definitely managed it. It was fine, but I was very aware, my shoulders were very aware that they had been given a workout. I may actually make the half moon size as well, because I kind of like the idea of maybe, this was quite big for that weekend, so I could probably fit a weekend's worth of stuff into the half moon, but then would that be any lighter, because it would just be more crammed, so probably not. But that is something to bear in mind, that whilst this is an amazing bag, it would get very, very heavy for long periods of time. It would make an awesome gym bag, really would. Awesome gym bag. And don't get me wrong, I love it and I will use it, but yeah, that is something to bear in mind when you've made this giant bag, is when it's full it can get heavy. Right, so that was all of the bags that I have made since June. Wow. And this is the only top, the rest, oh no, there's a skirt and then the rest are dresses. So I am going to get changed and I shall be right back. Next up I have the Electric Feathers McCall's 7945 dress, and again there is a sew along for this dress. This was picked by my Patreon peeps. When I put it up, when I saw this pattern, I kind of overlooked it to begin with, because it wasn't figure hugging and it wasn't fitted at the waist in a way that I thought that I would enjoy, so I kind of overlooked it. And then when I went back over the patterns, because when they do new releases I tend to scan through them all, and then I always go back and look at every single one of them, because looking at the envelope and the line drawing, or the art for the envelopes, can sometimes not be as informative as looking at the line drawings or the technical drawings for the actual pattern itself. So when I went back and had a look at this one, I thought, you know what, with those waist ties I can see myself wearing that. Then I put it up for a vote on Patreon, and my Patreon peeps voted for this one, and it was just like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? So I kind of dug out a couple of fabrics that I knew that I was going to like. Then I picked this one, and it's the Electric Feathers viscose that I got from the Textile Centre. I'm afraid I got this quite a few years ago, so it's definitely not available anymore, and I have tried to track some down, but yeah, I think it was one of those like ex-designer or end of bulk kind of ones from the high street that I got lucky enough to buy 4 meters of, and I managed to get this out of 4 meters. I have interesting size scraps left only. This dress technically needed 4.5–5 meters of fabric, but I did manage to squeeze it out of the 4. Well, it was just over 4, so yeah, I'm really pleased that I did. I absolutely love this. I took this on holiday to Croatia with me. I wore it a couple of times whilst I was out there. It's really, really lovely dress to float around in, because whilst there is definition at the waist with the ties, I would never wear this untied. It's also not so tight that it clings and makes you feel uncomfortable in hot weather. So I'm really, really pleased that the Patreon peeps voted for this one, and I have made it up because I really, really do love it. Now, as you can see here, I've styled it a few ways. These are the clips that I used for the sew along, so I am cheating a little bit and reusing that footage, but it gives you an idea of how I would wear this and how I actually did wear this whilst I was abroad. It's an awesome dress, highly recommend it. I don't think I would make the shorter version. I think I like it because it is a maxi dress. I will say as well, there is an incredible amount of ease built into this dress. I made I think it was a size 12 for the bust, which fits really, really well, but then I graded from a size 6 at the waist, and it's still giant, absolutely giant. I think if I'd gone for my true size according to the pattern envelope, there was something like 15 inches of wearing ease around the waist, and no, that would not have ended up with a dress that I would have been happy with. It's one of those things that when you have a look at the pattern tissues and the pattern envelope, make a judgment call based on the finished measurements that are printed on the tissue to what the pattern is asking you to make based on the envelope. I tend to always buy the smaller bundles, because even though I technically fall into the larger bundles, the amount of wearing ease that the Big Four or McCall's Vogue, Butterick, not so much Simplicity, but you know, those three build into their patterns, for me is too much. So I know I can generally get away with the smaller sizes, although with trousers I do kind of struggle a bit, so I generally have to have like both size bundles to get away with making trousers. But that's, you know, that's the joys of being a pear shape or being an hourglass, because technically I am an hourglass. My shoulders and bust do balance out my hips. My hips probably are a little bit bigger than they used to be, so maybe heading into pear territory. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, this was a definite success. I am very, very grateful to the Patreon peeps for voting for this one, and I can see myself making another one next year in obviously a different print for another wafty, floaty, kind of very nice to wear during the heat dress. So thank you Patreon peeps, and awesome dress, highly recommend. Okay, so next up we have this pink floral viscose McCall's dress, and it's pattern number 7537. Now again, this was a Patreon vote. This was the one voted for at the end of December for kind of like a roundup of all the patterns that I had asked people to vote on throughout the year, and the ones that hadn't made the cut but the ones that I loved and still wanted to make, and this was the one that won. I used this fabric because I wasn't overly precious about it. I really like the print, but the pale pink colour was what was throwing me off, and I kind of like it with the tan. I think it's working. So I haven't worn this dress out yet, and that is only because the one time that I had an event that I wanted to wear it to was the So Southampton, but I also knew that I was going to be on my feet for the majority of that day, and I really think this dress needs high heels to make it work. Having said that, we're coming into autumn now, and I can see myself wearing this with sort of like over the knee boots or knee-high boots underneath this skirt, with maybe a gilet over the top and thermal, kind of like a thermal vest and thermal tights. I can see myself wearing this like that. I really love this dress, so much so that I have two fabrics picked out already in much darker floral prints. One is a green, silver and black print, and another one is navy with kind of like fruit all over it, and I can see myself making this dress in both of those prints with this trim. I absolutely love this trim, and I liked the way that I've added this trim as well. There is a sew along for this dress as well. I think I'm going to run out of cards because I think there's sew alongs for most of the things that I've done here. I really like how this trim went on, and the fact that I've hidden the seams, the fact that I've hidden the raw edges underneath this trim. So the raw edges were sewn so they were on the outside of the dress, and then this trim went over the top to add decoration but then also hide those raw edges. So the inside of this dress looks beautiful and the outside of this dress looks beautiful, and that's something that I enjoy. I know not everybody does, not everybody wants to do that, and that's totally fine. And again, I will say it again, the beauty of sewing is that you make up the rules. I mean, there are rules that you need to adhere to make garments kind of like come out wearable at the end of it, but once you know the rules, you can break them and you can do whatever you like. So if you like overlocking, you go for it. If you want to pink the edges, you go for it. If you're like me and you want to French seam everything, go for it. That's one of the lovely things about sewing. So I haven't worn this dress yet, but I intend to wear this dress, and I think I started talking about the fabric, didn't I? So I use this as a wearable muslin. Again, this was from the Textile Centre. It's a viscose or a rayon fabric. I bought it in this pale pink colour, and I also bought it on a white background. They had it on yellow and turquoise, and I wish I'd bought both of those as well because I love it. I absolutely love it. It's really nice and floaty. It's great to work with, press as well, and the print is gorgeous. I am going to be making more of this bodice. The difference I think I'm going to make is that I think if I can, I'm going to put a circle skirt onto one of the dark floral ones. One of the fabrics I have 3.5 meters, so I'm not sure I'm going to have enough, but one of them I have 5 meters of, so I will definitely have enough. I do like this long gathered tiered skirt. I think it's really pretty. I like this length on me. I know when I did this sew along, a few people were like, oh, make it a bit shorter and you'll be perfect. I kind of like this length. I think it hits my leg in a flattering place, so I don't want to shorten this. But you all know how much I like very full skirts, so I kind of fancy trying this bodice with a circle skirt on it to see how it looks. Now, it might not necessarily have to be a full circle skirt. I could try the 3/4 circle skirt that I've done or the half circle skirt that I've done. I think both of those would look really nice. I think it's the difference is that I would like to see what it looks like with a flat waist rather than the gathering at the waist. But again, I do like this dress and I will wear this dress. I am looking forward to wearing this dress, and I'm going away on Friday, and then I have a conference next week, so I might wear this dress to a conference with the boots like I said, because I could think I probably would wear it with either tan boots, which I have and that are some of my comfy boots, or I have some chocolate brown boots as well, which would look really cool with this. I do have options of styling this up, but in the try-on clips that you've seen, I was wearing it with my strappy pink high heels, which is definitely how I would wear this in the spring. And it might be a case of I wait until spring to wear this one and then I make the dark floral ones for autumn winter. But yeah, Love this dress, absolutely love this dress. Highly recommend the pattern. I did make a fair amount of changes to the pattern, but as I say, there is a sew along, so you can follow along with the changes that I have made, or you can watch it and just go, well, I wouldn't do that, I would do this. And again, that is the beauty of sewing. I have 3 more dresses and 1 more skirt to show you, so I'm going to get changed and I'll be back in a second. The next dress I have to show you is another Sew Over Eve dress. My love for this pattern is going nowhere. If you've watched any of my waffles, you'll know I have a self-imposed rule of 5 of a pattern and move on. I think I'm going to break it for this one. I'm up to 5 now. I have made more than 5, but I've given a couple away because I was experimenting with the sizing to begin with and it wasn't quite right for me, but I've got it down pat now. It works perfectly for me. I love this dress. I can squeeze it out of 3 meters of fabric and I wear it. I wear it a lot. This one is from the Lady McElroy Cobra Corsage and I think they call it the Loretta Lawn. It's a viscose with some stretch in it as well, so this dress is actually very, very comfortable to wear. Not that it isn't anyway, because it's adjustable, it's a wrap dress. I have made some changes to the pattern. I French seam everything and I use a buttonhole for the tie to pass through rather than leaving an opening there. That just, the very first one I did, I used seam binding on anything that I couldn't French seam. In all honesty, I don't mind the buttonhole as a method for closing this dress, so I prefer French seams and how they look, so that's the difference I've made there. I use bias binding for the front neckline. I think they recommend to overlock it and top stitch that down in the pattern, but I prefer bias binding, as you know. Instead of cutting 2 yokes, I cut 4 yokes so that I can burrito it and just make the inside here nice and clean, because whilst I could French seam this shoulder seam, I wouldn't want to French seam this because of all the gathers that go into it. I have lengthened the skirt on this dress by 2 inches because that's just a preference of mine. I am 5'8". This dress has a very long skirt on it, so you may not need to do that. But I am 5'8", as I say, and I like the way that where this hits and how it looks on me. Somebody else on Instagram the other day had put long bishop sleeves on, like the sleeves from the McCall's 7537, and I fully intend to totally copy that person. I had thought of that idea before I'd seen her version of it, but having seen her version of it, it just cemented the fact that that looks amazing and I need to do that. As I say, there will be more versions of this coming, but without the fluttery sleeves, with long sleeves, long big billowy floaty sleeves, because I think that will look really cool for autumn. It will make it something that I can wear into autumn. I love this dress, and you can get these sleeves under cardigans, but with viscose, as you all know, it creases the minute you look at it. That's the kind of the payoff for me. The trade-off, should I say. I love the way that viscose looks. I like the way that I can work with viscose. I enjoy wearing it in hot weather, but it does crease. You know, it's one of those things. But yeah, getting these under a cardigan is possible, but I think, mind you, the full bishopy sleeves are going to be quite difficult to get under a cardigan as well. So, you know, maybe sweater vests or waistcoats or gilets will be making an appearance in my wardrobe. I do have plans for all of those things, to be fair. I plan on making the bishopy billowy longer sleeves. This pattern does come with straight sleeves and a straight skirt. I have not made that version at all. I haven't tried the straight sleeves. I have heard that a lot of Sew Over It patterns, the sleeves come up really, really tight, so I'm a bit worried about that. So I think I would need to make a mock-up of some sleeves and put them on and see how I felt about them and if they worked for me and if I could move in them, because that's another thing. I want to be able to do that, and obviously with my fluttery fluty sleeves I can do that. With bishop sleeves I'll be able to do that as well because there'll be lots of room, but with the tighter sleeves I'm not sure if I'd be able to get my arms free range of motion, because, you know, like, yes, and I wear these for dancing a lot, salsa dancing a lot, so you need to be able to do that. Not like that, but yeah. This was Eve dress number 4, and then I have Eve dress number 5, which I shall show you now. Okay, so it's another Eve dress. This is in another rayon fabric and it has flowers on it. Shocking! This is Eve dress number 5, and as I mentioned, that is my self-imposed limit, but as I also mentioned, I'm going to be changing the sleeves, so I can imagine there's going to be 5 more with different sleeves coming. It's gonna happen. We know this. And as I say, this dress I have down pat. I can make it really quickly. I can make it out of 3 meters of fabric. I love how it looks. I wear it all the time, so yeah, it might not be It might not be the worst thing in the world having more than was, but I have so many wrap dress patterns in my stash that I need to try. So yeah, we shall see. Anyway, I've waffled about this dress before, so obviously all exactly the same changes to this one as I mentioned with the Cobra Corsage one. I have had this fabric, I bought this fabric from Sew Over It. The minute it came out, I bought 4 meters of it, and then I literally went, my precious, with it, and I knew I wanted to make an Eve dress. I think I'd seen somebody else make an Eve dress out of this fabric, so I don't think I'm original in this, but I don't know why, but I got the fear about this fabric because I couldn't get any more. I saw it on eBay, so it was £15 a meter from Sew Over It, and then I saw it on eBay, and I think it was from Crafty So and So, I think, and they had it for a lot less expensive. I think it was nearly half the price. So I tried to order some, but they'd sold it all out in the shop, but they hadn't taken their eBay listing off, so there was a problem with it, so I couldn't get any more of it. I think that's when I got the fear about this fabric and just being like, oh, what if I mess it up? Why would I mess it up? I know the Eve dress backwards and forwards, but yeah, it was one of those ones that sort of sat in my stash knowing exactly what it was going to be, but I've just been like, oh god, I can't do it, I can't do it. So I'm glad that I kind of bit the bullet and actually made this one up. I've worn it again, I've worn it a lot. I wore it out to watch Wilson play, I have worn it on holiday. Yeah, I really enjoy this dress. I think it's beautiful. If you've watched any of the daily waffles, you will know that I cut the skirt on the cross grain because, as I've mentioned, I've lengthened the skirt by 2 inches, which means it's just that little bit too long to cut out on the straight of grain with the fabric folded. I could do it with the fabric not folded. I might try that next time, but I think I've gotten away with it because whilst this print kind of is directional, it's also kind of not. It's one of those ones that if it had been an animal that had a definite head, then you would notice that they were all on their sides, but because they're flowers and they're kind of differently orientated, then I think I get away with it. But anyway, I've done it now and I can't undo it, and I like it and I wear it and I'm happy with it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this dress. Yeah, as I say, there's going to be more, there will be more. Rules gone out the window. Rules are made to be broken. I said that before. So I have another 8577. There again is a sew along for this, although I did that last year, beginning of last year, I think. I want to say end of December. There is a sew along for this dress. I have 3 of these dresses now, one in Cobra Corsage, one in the Savannah print, both from Lady McElroy, both in Cotton Lawn, and I also have this one which is in fabric that I got from M. Rosenberg and Son at the Knitting and Stitching Show. It is, I think, a viscose linen mix, and it's beautiful. It's a very heavy fabric. Mum bought some of this the previous show in a different colourway, and I don't know why I didn't buy some of hers at the same time, because there was some left on the roll, but I think there was another lady eyeing it up and I thought, oh no, I can't. And then we went back this year and Mum was wearing her dress, so I said, we went, M. Rosenberg and Son was the first store that I went to because I know they sell out of stuff very quickly, and I knew I wanted to have first dibs on everything. So we went, she was wearing her dress, I said, do you have any more of this? They said, not that colourway, but we have this colourway and it has turquoise in it. So I was just like, haha, done! It was perfect. It was fate. I was meant to wait for this dress. This dress is, as I say, the 8577. I absolutely love this dress to travel in because the pockets are huge. I can fit my passport, my phone, my Kindle, I can fit my headphones in there, my cards. If I needed to have a wallet, I could have a wallet in there. I can fit so much in these pockets, and it means I don't have to keep dipping in and out of my handbag. When I went on holiday this time, I actually didn't take a handbag. I took this and I took my NCW with a shoulder strap on it if I wanted to go shopping in the terminal. So I took my NCW only, but I didn't take an actual handbag. I just had my hand luggage and this dress because everything fits in the pockets. It's amazing. Mum doesn't like the pockets, which is fine. She doesn't include the pockets in her versions of it, and it still looks amazing. But for me, the pockets are awesome. They are giant. I love them. They fit everything. So I have, as I say, made 3 of this dress. I have plans for at least another 2. I have bought the Liberty Carline Cotton Lawn in the blue colourway, and I've got some beautiful Wim Wam rose type luster buttons for that dress. That is going to be an amazing dress, but it's not the right time of year to make it now, so it's going to be something that I make next year. I have so many cotton lawns, 5-meter cuts of cotton lawns. I have the elephant, the brown elephant one. I have the anaconda antithesis. I have so many. The anaconda antithesis one, I was thinking actually I would make a skirt version of this, and I've done that before with a quilting cotton, the Shell Bouquet quilting cotton, which I still need to wear. I don't have a top to wear with that, and I'll come to that in my October plans video. I like the skirt version of this a lot, even though I've not worn it yet, but I've made one and I like it. Just need to make something to wear with it. Yeah, I have this. I think this is going to be another one of those dresses that I end up with more than 5 in my wardrobe, because I love it and I wear it so often. I wear the ones that I've got multiple times, and as I say, I wear them to travel in. They're great for traveling up into London in. So Wilson has seen these a lot because I literally turn up at his house in one or another of the variants that I currently have. Definitely going to make more of these. They are fabric hungry. It's 5 meters of fabric and then 5 meters of lining. Technically you probably wouldn't need to line the skirt, especially in this heavy fabric, but I did because I personally like how that looks. I know Mum has just lined the bodice on a lot of hers, so she's taken out the pockets, she's taken out the skirt lining, and that also looks great. And she's made hers in a viscose, which I really do like as well. But I do kind of like the sticky out nature of the kind of more structured fabrics that I've made mine in so far. I do have a black crepe that I want to make one of these in, because I want to make it with, now I don't know if I want to make it with the sleeves, but I definitely want to make it with the collar. But I want to make the collar detachable, because I think I've told you guys this before, I saw this picture with bees embroidered on the collar of a shirt dress and I fell in love. So I want to do that on a black with the 2 bees on the collar. But I love the idea of putting on a white collar with an embroidered red lipstick kiss on it. I really like that idea. I think that would look really cool. So I want to work out a way of making the collar detachable, and I think I have it in my head. I think I know how I'm going to do it. I'm not sure that the collar that comes with this pattern would work, because it kind of goes to nothing at the back, so it might look too obvious that it's kind of buttoned on. But I can, you know, steal a different collar from somewhere else or tweak the collar pattern on this dress to get the look that I want. And I will of course do a tutorial on how I do that and how I attach it when I get to that. But yeah, I really fancy kind of both the bee embroidery and the lipstick embroidery. I think that would look really cool. I have enough of this fabric left over. I'm going to get a belt made by Harlequin. I haven't done that yet. I went looking for it in the wardrobe fully like, yeah, I've done that, totally done that. Haven't done that yet, so I'm going to be sending that off to Harlequin. I know I haven't done that yet. It's Mum's belt that we've done. I know, because I've seen a belt in this fabric, but it's a different colorway. I have a bit of this fabric left over that I think I can make something else with. If I can't quite get a like little jacket out of it, or the trims for a jacket out of it, I have definitely got enough for a large NCW, which is something that I need to make for myself. I haven't made myself an extra large NCW. So anyway, I have one more thing to show you. This is a very long video. Thank you very much for sticking with me if you have got this far. I have, like I say, one more thing to show you, and then we'll be done. So back in 2 secs. I've tried to sit a little bit further back so you can sort of semi-see what I'm talking about whilst I am talking to you, because it is the skirt that I have made and you can just about see it here. So I'm going to obviously include a 12 for you guys to have a look at. This is a 3/4 circle skirt, which I have done a tutorial for, but this time I have done it with a button-up front rather than a plain front and a zipped back. I used the Emily Hallman tutorial, which I will link into the description bar down below for you guys, and I absolutely love how this turned out. This is exactly how I envisioned it in my head. These giant big wooden buttons I really like. I have been seeing them all over the high street. I have bought myself a fairly large amount of both of them. Have you noticed on the 8577 dress that I was just wearing, they had dark brown coconut buttons on it. These are dark brown wooden buttons and I love them. I think they're really cute. I really enjoyed how this skirt has come out. I haven't worn it yet. I nearly took it on holiday with me, but this is the only top that I have at the moment that works with it, and I needed my holiday wardrobe to be a little bit more hardworking than just one outfit, because I didn't take a different outfit for every day of the 2 weeks, which I kind of wish I had, but I'm also glad that I didn't have to carry all of that heavy luggage all around with me. And realistically, I spent most of the time in bikinis by the pool, so it wasn't the end of the world. Just in case you are wondering, this is the Sew Over It cowl neck top. They have a top and a dress pattern together. I haven't made the dress, I don't think I will, but I love the top and I wear this quite a lot. I've been mentioning t-shirt week for a year and a half now. When I get to t-shirt week, there will be a lot of these being made and with different sleeve lengths, but I absolutely love this t-shirt. The skirt is a cotton sateen. I got it from Truro Fabrics. I know Sewisfaction have had it in. I've seen quite a few other people have it in. It's a Telio print. They have just brought this out on Rayon. I haven't seen anyone in the UK stocking it on Rayon as yet, but fabric.com have this on Rayon. And there's also a navy background as well as this kind of minty turquoisey blue background. I actually bought this because I bought some lemon print shoes that go with it perfectly, and I haven't worn those yet either. I have a feeling, in fact I have enough fabrics, it's not just a feeling, I know I have enough fabrics in my stash that I want to build a capsule collection around this skirt, especially if I can get hold of some of the rayon one as well, because a Sew Over It Eve dress in this would be amazing. And I love the idea of being able to pack a certain amount of items for a week-long holiday and you have a giant number of outfits to go with it. I have a yellow cardigan that Mum's knitted for me already that would work really well with this. Some different solid coloured camis, because you've got obviously the brown, you've got the yellows, you've got the greens, you've got the white. Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning around this skirt. I can see myself wearing this skirt in winter. I can see myself wearing it with, as I say, I've got a yellow cardigan to go over the top of this t-shirt and some dark brown boots. I think that would look really nice. So I have a few different ways that I want to style it as at the moment. I also bought enough of this fabric that I can make myself a little cropped tie front shirt from the hacked pattern of the McCall 6696 that will go with it, so that it will kind of make it look like a dress, kind of, but with the same kind of buttons up the front and then the little tie at the center front. Where else would the tie be? I mean, the tie could be on the side. Yes. Oh, I'm waffling now. Yeah, I think that would look really cute with the wooden buttons up the front, and the little tie. It will kind of look like a dress but not, so I have enough fabric to do that. My battery's flashing, 2 secs. Hopefully the framing's not changed too much, but new battery. I'm really pleased with this. I am going to make more of these. I really like button-up skirts. I'm going to play around with maybe putting patch pockets on the front of this. I think that would look really cool as well. So yeah, I enjoyed making this skirt. I will enjoy wearing it, and I am pleased that I have enough fabric to make a little matching top to go with it, because as much as I like it with this one, I also fancy like an all-in-one outfit to make it look like a dress. I like that idea. I think there's going to be more coordinating separates in my future, because I need to make more tops. I have so many dresses, so many skirts, so many trousers, and like no tops. So yeah, there are more tops in my future. Anyway, that is probably an incredibly long video, so thank you very much if you've managed to get it all the way to the end. I know I thanked you for the penultimate outfit, but thank you if you've made it all the way to the end. I really hope you have enjoyed having a look at what I have been making over the last 4 months, June, July, August, September. Wow. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.